You're addicted to something. Maybe it's your phone, maybe it's food, maybe it's substances, maybe it's behaviors that make you feel weak and ashamed. You keep trying to quit and you keep failing. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how to break free from any addiction forever. What's up? Today, we're talking about addiction, not the sugar-coated therapy version. The brutal scientific reality of what's happening in your brain and how to fix it. Every addiction follows the same pattern. Every addiction can be beaten the same way, whether it's social media, junk food, substances, or anything else that controls you instead of you controlling it. First, understand what addiction really is. Addiction is where someone has little or zero control over doing, taking, or using something to a potentially harmful point. Your brain has been hijacked. Your reward system has been corrupted. You're not weak. You're not broken. You're dealing with a chemical problem that requires a chemical solution. Here's what happens in your brain when you're addicted. You get a huge dopamine hit from your addiction. Your brain says, "This feels amazing, let's do it again." But over time, your brain adapts. It reduces its natural dopamine production. Now you need your addiction just to feel normal. That's called a dopamine deficit state. And the cycle that leads us there can actually lead to depression, anxiety, irritability, and insomnia. You're not able to take joy in more modest rewards. Now, your drug of choice doesn't even get you high. You're not using to feel good anymore. You're using to avoid feeling terrible. When someone stops using these substances, dopamine levels drop. This imbalance causes withdrawal symptoms like sadness, fatigue, or anxiety. Your brain screams for its fix. Your body feels like it's dying. Every fiber of your being wants to give in. This is withdrawal. This is your brain trying to force you back to your addiction. The symptoms include anxiety, panic attacks, depression, agitation, irritability, fatigue, nausea, and intense cravings. The severity varies by person and addiction, but the pattern is the same. Here's the brutal truth about quitting. The first 3 days are hell. Your brain is in full panic mode. It's convinced you're going to die without your addiction. You'll feel anxious, depressed, angry, and physically sick. Push through anyway. Days 4 to 14 are when most people quit. The physical symptoms start to fade, but the mental cravings get stronger. Your brain is still expecting its fix. It will try every trick to get you back to your old habits. Resist with everything you have. Weeks 3 to 4 are when you start to see light. Your natural dopamine production slowly begins to recover. You start to feel moments of pleasure from normal activities. Small things start to feel rewarding again. Month 2 is when real healing begins. Your brain chemistry starts to normalize. Activities you used to enjoy become enjoyable again. You realize you can feel good without your addiction. It typically takes about 90 days to notice a significant difference in pleasure experiences and dopamine levels. Month 3 is when you become a different person. You have clarity you haven't felt in years. Energy that comes from within instead of from external sources. Confidence that comes from knowing you can control yourself. But most people never make it to 90 days because they don't have a system. They rely on willpower. Willpower always fails. You need a strategy. Here's the exact system that works for any addiction. Step 1. Remove all access. Delete apps. Throw away substances. Remove triggers from your environment. If you can't remove them completely, make them as hard to access as possible. Step 2. Replace the addiction with something healthy. Your brain needs a new dopamine source. Exercise releases natural endorphins. Reading stimulates your mind. Cold showers give you controlled stress. Find something that gives you a natural high. Step 3. Identify your triggers. Boredom, stress, loneliness, anger, whatever makes you reach for your addiction. Write them down. Have a plan for each one. When you feel bored, you read. When you feel stressed, you exercise. When you feel lonely, you call a friend. Step 4. Build support systems. Tell someone you trust about your addiction. Ask them to check on you daily. Shame thrives in darkness. Accountability thrives in light. Step 5. Track your progress. Mark each day you stay clean on a calendar. Seeing your streak grow gives you motivation to keep going. Breaking the streak becomes harder the longer it gets. Step 6. Prepare for setbacks. You might relapse. Most people do. This doesn't mean you're weak. This means you're human. Learn from the relapse. What triggered it? How can you avoid it next time? Get back on track immediately. Here's what separates people who quit forever from people who keep relapsing. Discipline, mental strength, the ability to do what's right when everything in you wants to do what's wrong. You need the discipline to stick with your plan when cravings hit. You need the mental strength to push through withdrawal symptoms. You need the courage to face your problems without numbing them. This is exactly why I wrote my discipline book. Breaking addiction isn't just about willpower. It's about building unbreakable self-control. The book shows you how to develop the mental toughness to resist any temptation, how to build habits that stick, how to make the right choice automatic instead of a constant battle. It's the foundation of every successful recovery. But addiction often masks deeper problems: low self-worth, lack of purpose, weak masculine energy. That's why my other books matter too. The Energy Management book teaches you how to channel your drive into building something meaningful instead of destroying yourself. The Masculine Strength book develops the confidence and character that makes you too strong to need external validation or numbing. Together, they create the complete transformation from addicted and weak to disciplined and strong. Here's what happens when you successfully quit your addiction. Your brain heals, your confidence soars, your energy returns, you respect yourself again, people start respecting you more, you realize you don't need external things to feel good. You become the person you always wanted to be, but were too numb to become. But most people will read this and do nothing. They'll stay trapped in their addictions. They'll keep feeling ashamed and powerless. They'll keep making excuses about why they can't change. Don't be most people. Be different. Be strong. Be the person who finally takes control of their life. Start today, right now. Remove access to your addiction. Replace it with something healthy. Begin your 90-day journey to freedom. The links to all 3 books are in the description. Get them, use them, break free. Your addiction is not your identity. Your addiction is not permanent. Your addiction is not stronger than your will to change. But you have to want freedom more than you want comfort. You have to choose growth over numbing. You have to choose life over slow death. Make that choice today. If this gave you hope that change is possible, subscribe to Night Wisdom. Hit that notification bell. And start becoming the free, strong, disciplined man you were meant to be. I'll see you in the next one.